Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie, and this is going to be my 700 subscribers Q&A video. So this channel recently celebrated 700 subscribers, which is so exciting. Thank you to everyone who is subscribed to the channel and watches my videos. I really appreciate it. If you are not subscribed, obviously I would love it if you would be. It really does help my channel and helps more people discover my content. Thank you so much to everyone who is here watching my videos and interacting with my content, whether that be by liking, sharing, or subscribing. I appreciate all, I think it's like 710-ish of you now. It really means a lot to me. So thank you so much for being here. I absolutely love talking about books, writing, and other fun stuff with you all. I decided to do this Q&A video because one of my subscribers suggested it, and I have never done a Q&A video before. I asked on my community tab for questions, and I also asked for questions on my Bookstagram account, also Jackie Reads and Writes, same username as on here. So I will be going through those questions that you all sent in today. The first question was, what is one book you could reread forever? And, you know, I thought about giving a different answer to this question, just to not be as predictable. But if I am answering 100% honestly, the answer has to be You're Not Surprised, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is just my all-time favorite book. I think I've read it 4 or 5 times. I'm not quite sure. And every single time I read this book, I have so much fun. It is just amazing in every possible way. It's well written, it has amazing characters, it has humor, great social commentary, and the greatest relationship in all of literature, Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy. So this is a book that I could read over and over and never get tired of it. I do not know how many times I will have read Pride and Prejudice by the time I finally die, because this is a book that I think I'm just going to be obsessed with until the end of time. Until the moment my soul leaves this mortal plane, I will love Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And all jokes aside, every time I do reread this book, there are new little moments that I've never really thought about before, but I then fall in love with for the first time. Just little details or little asides that I've never really focused on before, and it kind of just makes my love for this book grow deeper with every reread. It is so amazing. It is superbly written, just a masterclass in how to write a novel. And also, very importantly, it makes me happy. And in my opinion, this world we live in is very difficult at times, so it's good to have things that make you happy, and it's good to spend time prioritizing things that bring you joy. And one of the things that brings me joy is Pride and Prejudice. So I thought about, trying to surprise you all with a different answer, but if I'm answering the question honestly, this is the book I could reread forever and ever. I never get sick of it. Maybe I'll reread it again soon. I just love this book. It's so wonderful. Go read it if you haven't. Oh, the next question. I think this one was from Sophie. What sections of your book did you enjoy writing the most? So for those of you who are new subscribers or just don't watch my writing videos, I wrote a novel that I nicknamed Project Mayfair. It is a historical murder mystery set in Regency London, and I am currently planning to start submitting that novel to literary agents in the month of August. So keep your fingers crossed for me, but that's what Sophie's asking me about. What was my favorite part of Project Mayfair to write? This is difficult because, to be completely honest, I loved writing the entire thing. I feel so great about it. I'm so happy with how it's turned out. And I'm really proud of myself for finally writing a complete novel and finally, taking that first step towards my dream. So when you ask me what was my favorite part, I just want to say like all of it because I had so much fun, but I will try to mention some specific parts without spoiling everything, obviously, because like if the book gets published, you're gonna have to go get a copy, right? At least I'll hope you'll go get a copy. That would be amazing. It would make me so happy. So if I have to call out specific parts that I loved writing, I think I just really loved all the interactions between my main male character and my main female character. I loved writing the scenes where the two of them are together, working together, arguing with each other, bantering. I just love them both, and I love the dynamic that I've created for them. I love my main female character so much, and so I just love getting to spend time with them, so to speak. I think there is one scene in particular from the night that they first meet each other in the manuscript that I thought was such a delight to write, just writing the two of them having a conversation for the first time and kind of assessing each other and trying to figure each other out with some hopefully witty banter along the way. That scene I just absolutely loved writing. And I also, in particular, really loved writing basically the whole storyline involving who the murderer is and sort of discovering along the way why this person did these things, what motivates them, what in their past happened that brought them to this point. It was kind of like almost solving a puzzle, trying to figure out where I was going to go with that storyline, and I'm really happy with how it turned out in the end. When I had the novel beta read, there were some people who picked up on the clues and figured it out, and other people who were stunned and never saw it coming, which made me really happy. You know, I think I did a pretty good job in the end with the murder mystery aspect of the book. I feel like there are clues to point you in that direction, but also I feel like they're not so obvious that like everyone is going to see it coming. I feel like you definitely could figure it out, but you're going to have to work for a little bit, if that makes sense. You know, I think a good murder mystery, in my personal opinion, I feel like you should be able to figure it out. You should have the information you need to realize who the murderer is, but you should ideally be surprised. And if you are the person who is really good at solving murder mysteries, I want you to feel like it was not obvious, like you did have to work for a little bit. I think, you know, if my book is published, there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to see the murderer coming. Bless you! I think a lot of people are not going to see it coming, but I also do think there are going to be people who are going to be able to figure it out, and that's okay, because obviously if there is no foreshadowing for who the murderer is, the reader is just going to be like, where did that come from? So I do think some people are going to be really shocked, which makes me happy because I personally love it when I read a book and I did not see the reveal coming. But in retrospect, I know there were signs there that I didn't pick up on. So I hope that a lot of people will be able to read my book and have that experience. So that was also a lot of fun. The entire book was fun, but if I have to call out some specific parts, those were the parts that I personally really quite enjoyed. Okay, the next question was, what are your favorite mystery tropes? To be honest, I feel like I could make an entire video just talking about my favorite mystery tropes. I've also thought about making a video where I tier rank mystery tropes, something along those lines. So let me know in the comments section if that's a video you would like to see, and I will add it to my list. I did mention several mystery tropes in a video I filmed several years ago where I talked about my favorite and least favorite tropes. So I will try to mention a couple here. First of all, I do like a good unreliable narrator. I think when that is done well, it can be so enjoyable and really deliver some great surprises along the way. I think the unreliable narrator is a tried and true classic. I do also love closed circle mysteries or murder mysteries that take place in enclosed spaces, basically where you get all the characters together in a very isolated setting and a murder occurs. I just really like that setup, you know, and Then There Were None is my favorite Agatha Christie, and I'm just a sucker for murder mysteries taking place in remote locales, whether that be, you know, desert islands or snowed-in ski lodges and stuff like that. I think that's another really fun trope that I enjoy seeing. I also am a sucker for a classic country house mystery, you know? I'm an Agatha Christie girly. I absolutely love a good classic British murder mystery. I guess if I had to call out a couple of favorites, those are ones that I do particularly enjoy, and I'm sure there's so many others that I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head, but yeah, I love a good murder mystery. I would love to make a mystery tropes video talking about my favorite ones and also ones that I personally really hate. So let me know if that's a video you'd like to see. Now I'm going to go to the questions I got on Instagram. This person actually asked 2 questions. First, they said, puzzle update. So for those of you who aren't following me on Instagram, I posted on Instagram that I've been working on this Jane Austen themed jigsaw puzzle. I was working on it in honor of Jane Austen July, and I said on Instagram that I am planning to frame the puzzle and hang it up in my room once I'm done, because I just love Jane Austen so much. So I figured, you know, if I'm gonna spend all this time working on this puzzle, why not hang it up and just express my love of Jane Austen through my home decor? I actually finished working on the puzzle. My mom and I worked on it together, so I will take some footage of it and insert it here in the video. The puzzle was 1,000 pieces. It took us a very long time to work on it. By the end, I was a little bit sick of staring at the pieces, being like, why are there so many green pieces? There are so many trees. But I think it looks really good, and I found some instructions online about what to do with a puzzle if you want to mount it. So we used Mod Podge and just took those, you know, craft brushes and brushed the pieces so that they will stick together. I think I might have to do another coat in some spots. There are some spots that still are falling apart a little bit, but it's looking pretty good. And then tomorrow, I think I'm going to go to Michael's craft store to find a frame for the puzzle. Then I'll just have to mount it on my wall after that. So the puzzle went great, and now I'm just working on getting it ready to hang in my room. So the puzzle is inspired by all the novels of Jane Austen, and there is a pamphlet that came with the puzzle explaining who all the different people in the puzzle are supposed to be. So, you know, basically all her novels are represented. You know, Emma Woodhouse is over here, Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy are over here, you know, there's Marianne being carried by Willoughby after spraining her ankle over there, and it has just all the different characters from Jane Austen in the puzzle, and they have a little explanation of who everyone is supposed to be. Jane herself and her family are also in the puzzle, so she's going to be up on my wall too. That made it sound a little weird, but you know what I'm trying to say. Then the next question was, will you self-publish your manuscript if no one wants to buy it? And, would I self-publish Project Mayfair? I am not sure, to be completely honest with you. You know, just to be completely transparent about my thought process, being traditionally published has always been a dream of mine, and it's something that I really would love to do. In a perfect world, I would love to get published by a big 5 publisher, but you know, I would be very happy with a respected indie press as well. So this is a major dream of mine and something that I really would love to be able to experience. So if nobody wants to buy Project Mayfair, I'm not really sure what I would do if I can't get it traditionally published, because on one hand, I do feel like maybe the right thing to do would be to work on another project and try to get that traditionally published. But on the other hand, I love Project Mayfair so much, and I will be absolutely bereft if nobody wants to publish Mayfair. I will be so sad because I feel so wonderful about it, and I love the story. I love the characters. To be completely honest with you, not to get ahead of myself, but I got ahead of myself, and I have up here ideas for many more books I could write about the main characters from Mayfair. So I really want it to be published, and I want it to be a series. So on that note, I could potentially see self-publishing as a great way to still get the story out there if nobody wants to buy it. The other good thing about self-publishing is if I want to write a sequel, I can write a sequel. There's nobody stopping me. I can keep writing them until I decide I don't want to anymore. But on the other hand, I also don't know about self-publishing. There are some reservations I have about it. Mainly that, one, let's be honest, traditionally published books are going to be read more widely and by a lot more people than self-published books are. And secondly, there is so much that goes into self-publishing that I wouldn't even really know where to begin, and I don't know if I want to invest the time and money that self-publishing would take. Because think about it. If you self-publish a book, you have to do the formatting. You have to hire someone to make the cover. You are the one who has to put all this money into marketing, getting Facebook ads, arranging podcast appearances. Whereas if you're traditionally published, the publisher to a certain extent is going to do all of that for you. I have heard debut authors say that, when they were traditionally published, they did have to do a lot of their marketing themselves still because they have a set marketing budget. And a major publisher like Penguin, for instance, they would rather spend their marketing budget on someone who is already successful because they're more confident they're going to get their money back. So even if I am traditionally published, I still might have to market the book myself a little bit and try to put myself out there a little bit. But I wouldn't have to worry about formatting. I wouldn't have to worry about finding someone to do the cover. And there would just be logistical things that I would not have to handle because the publisher would handle it for me. So that's another reason why I am a bit tentative about self-publishing. But I also have to be perfectly honest and say it's not something I've ever seriously considered doing, and I haven't done a whole lot of research about it. These are just my feelings at this point, and we'll see what happens. I think, the answer to your question is really just, it depends. I will see what happens. Right now, my plan for Mayfair, like I said, is to submit to agents in August. Hopefully I will be able to get an agent. If I cannot get an agent, then I am going to send the manuscript to some smaller but reputable publishers who accept unagented submissions. If none of those publishers want Mayfair, then I will have to start seriously thinking about my next steps, whether that be self-publishing the novel myself or trying again with a new project. All right, and the last question, what upcoming plans or ideas do you have for your channel? I have some, I think one thing that I said before that I wanted to do, and I really have not followed through, is I wanted to read some more obscure books or books that are not as popular on booktube. And I still want to do that. I don't think I have been successful at the follow through so far, but it is something I still would like to do. I would like to be able to make videos recommending books that are not popular on booktube and hopefully exposing people to new books, new ideas, new stories. That's something that I would really like to do. I think it's just sometimes hard to prioritize that goal because, in the online book community, there are so many books that are talked about a lot. And so it's very easy to give into the hype and prioritize those books. And also, let's just be honest, as a human being, Aren't you a little more drawn to a book that you've heard amazing things about from so many people versus one that, you know, sounds interesting, but you've never heard anyone review it, and that might be very hard to get a copy of, you know? So I think this is something I still would like to do. It just requires more effort on my part. Also, I am not knocking any of the popular books on BookTube when I say that. Some of them are amazing books. You know, I have really loved some hyped BookTube books. I'm just saying there could be other really amazing books out there that you or I don't know about, and I would like to seek those out a little bit more to hopefully provide some new recommendations on this channel. I would also like to read a lot more historical mystery books for multiple reasons. One, I just love them. I find them so enjoyable. One of my new favorite genres or subgenres of books. Two, Project Mayfair as a historical mystery, and I intend to become a historical mystery writer. So obviously I need to read the other books that are out there and sort of know what the market is like, what books my books could potentially be next to on the shelf, familiarize myself with my target readership, things like that. And thirdly, I also think that creating more specific historical mystery content could be good for the channel, and I would just love it if other people who enjoy these books could come to me for recommendations, you know? Like I said, this is one of my favorite genres, but I feel like it's not the most popular on BookTube, so I would like to talk about them a little more and hopefully develop, you know, a base of historical mystery fans where we can all come here and provide each other with recommendations. That would be really great. I'm also trying to make more shorts. You know, I resisted making shorts for a very long time, but now I am trying them, and so far so good. They are getting a lot more engagement than my traditional videos, so I guess they're a success in that aspect. And I'm just, you know, playing around with them a little bit, thinking of different ideas for shorts. I'm not really the type of person to film skits or anything. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. It's just not my vibe. Like, I think I personally would feel a bit awkward doing it. I just don't have the personality that lends well to that type of content. But, you know, I've made a couple shorts talking about what I read that week, sort of a very quick weekly wrap-up style video, and I've enjoyed doing that so far. So shorts are something that I'm going to continue experimenting with on this channel in the future. So those are all the questions that I got from all of you. Thank you to everyone who submitted a question. And once again, thank you so much for being subscribed to this channel. I truly and deeply appreciate every single one of you, and seeing your lovely comments on my videos just never ceases to make my day. So thank you so much for being here and being a supportive BookTube community. That being said, if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. It really helps my channel grow. Also, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more from me. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. My social media links are down below if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. I love you all, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you next time.